Greetings, useless people, and SurroundEdByFreaks, welcome back to Alice Madness Returns for one last time. Here with Alice, we are ready today for the final showdown against the Dollmaker. We finally boarded the infernal train. Unfortunately, there won't be much of a chapter here. Can you just imagine how cool would it be to fight those ruins abominations on this train? And maybe even other enemies, maybe on the gothic roof of the train as well, running through the clouds and the ruins of Wonderland. Last episode we found out that Dr. Bambi not only is responsible for the fire that killed Alice's family, completely destroying Alice's life, but also is responsible for destroying the lives of all the orphans at his fake orphanage. And if you think about it, Bambi is also the material cause of Alice's first madness, because without him there would have been no fire and Alice's life would have been completely different, and the events of American McGee's Alice wouldn't have happened. Therefore, all we have to do is to stop this damn train, Alice! Alice, it's not the moment to be sleeping. At least she's calm about it, and without further ado, let's go.
Hatter, I must stop this infernal train and the evil force that drives it.
Everything's a nail, is it, Miss Hammerhead? First it was your search, freighted with fear and fragmented memories. Now it's the train. Never time for tea. While your brain's on holiday, we're ruined. Now we're all mad here, and that's a good excuse for going to hell in a teapot, but not for forgetting what your senses saw. Forgetting is just forgetting, except when it's not. Then they call it something else. I'd like to forget what you did. I've tried, but I can't.
You've used me and abused me, but you will not destroy me.
No, the damage is done. The old Alice and her Wonderland retreat are demolished. You can't even recognize what's happened, and you're powerless to change it or move against me. I've made certain of that. Come to receive your punishment, then?
I know I'm guilty of something, but punishment never suits the victims of the crime.
Abuse is a crime the strong visit on the weak. And you're right, abusers are insufficiently punished for the damage they do. Those who witness abuse without seeking retribution for the harmed pay a penalty. Your own pain mitigates your failure to act earlier, but you may not yet have paid enough for witnessing the pain of others.
Bambi may not have brainwashed Alice to the degree that he could control her like he could control the children at the orphanage. But he brainwashed Alice enough to make her forget many things and make her unaware, more or less willingly, of what was going on around her with the children. The Hatter and the Caterpillar appear as passengers of the train, maybe because the train is what is leading Alice's mind, and considering that those are creatures that live inside it, their fate also depends on whether Alice will be able to stop or derail this infernal train. And the Hatter and the Caterpillar seemed rather disappointed with Alice, saying that yes, you are also a victim of these terrible crimes, but more or less you're also an accomplice, because you failed to realize sooner what was going on, even if the signs were rather clear. Because maybe Alice at least partially allowed herself to be brainwashed, because she wanted to deny to herself what was going on in front of her eyes. There has been so much suffering in Alice's life that probably she didn't want to believe that even that home safe home wasn't safe after all. I see you're still tired, Alice. Can't really blame you, don't worry, there will be time to take a nap after we're done. Time for something else.
You corrupted my memories, but you failed to make me forget.
I could have made you into a tasty bit. Clients out the door waiting for a piece from a raving, delusional beauty with no memory of the past or no sense of the future. But you wouldn't forget. You insisted on holding on to your fantasies. You're mad. Like your sister.
Oh.
Don't speak of her. You didn't know her.
Your sister was a tease, pretended to despise me. She got what she wanted in the end.
Oh, we'll get what we want in the end, don't worry.
My Lizzie, what is this train's destination?
Madness and destruction. You shouldn't ask questions you know the answer to. It's not polite. And that noise wasn't Lizzie talking in her sleep.
Oh, no. Oh, poor Lizzie.
And there are no centaurs in Oxford. Make your survival mean something, or we are all doomed!
Even the Queen of Hearts is willing to help because she's also a passenger of the train. Unfortunately, none of the passengers can really help Alice because stopping the train is all up to her and us, obviously. And worry not, my loyal Wonderland subjects, your queen is here. And while the guy playing alongside her keeps pretending that he has an experience in assaulting ships and being a pirate, well, that can count for trains as well. Dollmaker, you'll remember this day as the day you almost took over Wonderland. The Queen of Hearts said there are no centaurs in Oxford, which is a bit obscure. Apparently, the night of the fire, young Alice, maybe still sleepy, maybe traumatized or shocked because of the fire, imagined a centaur entering her house. But there are no centaurs in Oxford. They belong to Greek mythology, and in ancient mythology, centaurs are creatures of lust. The Queen tells Alice the harsh truth. Lizzie wasn't talking in her sleep, she was being murdered, and possibly something else as well. For which I hope Alice is particularly outraged right now. End of the road, Alice. We're almost at the end of the infernal train and I hope you're ready. I can see you're very relaxed. What is with today? I wouldn't even call this revenge. I would call it epuration and redemption. For Lizzie, for your parents, for the children, and for yourself. And for everybody who has played with you in your adventures. The time has come to get rid of this madness and cast it into oblivion for eternity, Alice. Oh boy. It's battle time, Missy. Huh? I didn't quite get what you said. Final battle of the game. I usually hate boss battles. I was glad this game had none. No, yes indeed. I know exactly who will pay. Ah, quite impatient I see. Let's see what we can do with these dirty hands. Maybe cutting some fingers? That's not the only body part that I want to cut off you, Bambi. The past must be paid for. Get ready to pay tribute to your queen. Are you mocking me? How dare you? That's so childish. Oh no, I remember this attack. Alice, run. That's the nails on the glass. You killed your shit, dolls. So childish. Run, run, run. I can be immature as much as I want. I'm the protagonist. Usually I'm always in the defensive in boss battles, but this time no. I'll be on the offensive, and I'll be offensive. Because Alice is badass enough compared to middle-aged nerd Bambi. I have an arsenal with me. And by me I mean Alice, even though the line between us is blurred at times. I only give her a little input. Oh, no more nails? Yeah, stop bothering me, you two. Oh, what are you doing? You're not a dragon. And then I'm the one living in fantasies, I see. You keep decimating your own minions, thank you. But if you want to be a dragon, I'll be the Dragonborn. Nah, he's immune. I'm also an expert on flamethrowers. Haven't you watched my Guild Wars 2 videos where I spam the flamethrower? No? You're not a subscriber? Unforgivable. Since you like hot, Alice, let's offer him some cayenne from our pepper machine gun. Yeah, I didn't understand that. You don't have subtitles. What are you showing me? You have no ass. Now, I could make a joke, but this is not the moment because it's a boss battle and we're fighting against a pervert. And also, I'm sure Alice would demolish me. I'll just tell you that Alice's ass is going straight back on the throne of Wonderland when we're done with this. Slicey, slicey. Stop skipping around. Oh no, keep skipping around if you want. Try to bitch slap me, huh? How dare you? Oh, remember this attack! Run, Alice! Run out of here! No, 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 no! Ooh, 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 he's so close! He's so close! Evade! Ooh. Oh, you're not even stunned! Ah, look at him mocking me. And you will see, we'll dance the Yevan polka on your grave. What are you doing, sassing me? Like, nah-uh. But I do remember this attack. Oh ho ho! You didn't manage to get me, but you got your minions. Well, I can gracefully glide back on the ground, safe, without any damage. He uses his fingers as a match, and you have to jump his wave of purple, his Sailor Moon attack. You like to play with fire, huh? Careful not to burn yourself. I have a ticket for the Shadow Realm with your name on it, Dollmaker. Ah, look who's here! Yeah, stop sussing me. The triple shiddle! Oh, out for revenge for one last time? I can avoid both of you, no problems. You already lost one head, thanks to the Dollmaker. I'm surrounded by freaks. Luckily, I just need to avoid the Dollmaker, because the ruin is so stupid that keeps shooting the column. Wait 1 second there, Dollmaker. Just let me deal with this moron first. We have history. As you can tell, Alice is really struggling in this fight. It's not like I defeated you 100 times during the game. Alice, that's not fair. You're still cheating. Nice try. Oh no, my trolling has reached critical point! Oh, did you lose another head? Yes, you did. Even more embarrassing. Oh no, Alice! Ooh, did you like that? Of course you did. Uh-huh, nice try, Dollmaker. Probably you wanted to finish off your own creation, but no, let's be honest. In memory of the good old times, I wanted to finish him off with the tip of cannon. I don't know how I didn't get hit once during this fight yet. I almost thought to play this game on difficult rather than normal, but that really changes only the damage output of the enemies, and I barely ever get hit. Huh? Enunciate, Dollmaker!
Enunciate!
Great, your hands. Let's put some distance, Alice. Oh, what are you doing? What? No touchy. No touchy. Don't touch me with your filthy hands, you creepy fuck. Look at him doing the pinchy motion. Knowing what is he? Disgusting. What now? Oh, puking? Ah, what a nice inviting target. Don't mind if I destroy it. Look at these shitballs thinking they're irrelevant. Oh, wombo combo, nice double, Alice. Outleagued as usual. What now? Trying to touch me again? Of course you are. Of course you are. Can't keep your hands off a pretty girl, can you? Ah, yes, touch the column. Molest that thing as well. This attack really suits Bambi. Too slow. You're not a 2.0 twin turbo like Alice drifting around the arena. I still don't understand you. Stop speaking your barbarian languages. Oh, wait, it's English. Oh boy. He's spitting ruin. No. I'll take this easy and put in some more pepper on your tongue since you like to spit fire so much. In Wonderland, but also the train station with your rude words towards Alice and Lizzie. No, 0 damage. Can touch this. Oh, what's the matter? Getting tired? Or is the hot pepper too spicy? I can wash it down with some hot boiling tea if you want. No. Column, protect me. Ah! Damn it! Perfect run is gone. You win this time. How dare you touch Alice? Alice Simps, fans. Lend me your power. You think we're trapped with you because we're on your train, but your train is in our Wonderland. And we are the ruler of this world.
I'll see you charged. In prison, some half-wit bruiser will make you his sweetheart, and then you'll hang.
Indeed. A hysterical woman, former lunatic, roaring outrageous accusations against a respectable social architect and scientist. My God, Alice, who would believe you? I scarcely believe it myself.
You, monstrous creature. Such evil will be punished.
By whom? By what? Psychotic, silly bitch. Your madness will be punished. Now leave. I'm expecting your replacement.
You'll be punished by us. As American McGee, the creator of the franchise, said after killing Bambi in his Let's Play, "Don't mess with Alice, motherfucker." Knowing that Bambi wouldn't get punished, Alice decided to deal some justice herself. And now, we step out of the station and we enter Wonderland. We did it, Alice. We epurated the filth that corrupted our life and redeemed ourselves. And we can be proud of ourselves. We honor the memory of our family, well, your. I'm not sure where I fit in here. Sometimes I'm Alice, sometimes I'm me controlling Alice, sometimes I'm there just trying to help, maybe I'm a Wonderland character. I love the art direction of this part and the soundtrack. I can tell you though that the first time that I finished this game I actually felt proud. Alice seemed to have transformed into her Wonderland self in front of Dr. Bambi, who got scared, and he was right to be afraid because he was looking into the green eyes of his doom. And now Alice finds herself in this sort of Wonderland dimension, which clearly isn't our world, but it's not even Wonderland. It's as if the two dimensions Alice has been traveling through somehow broke and fused into one, and that's why the name Wonderland. The ending of Alice Madness Returns is left to interpretation. The two main questions are, did Alice really transform into her Wonderland self in front of Dr. Bambi? And what is this Wonderland? There are two main interpretations, one is more positive, one is more negative. It could be seen as a sign of rebirth and blooming of the beautiful Wonderland, being restored and taking over the real grey world that has not been kind to Alice. Maybe a more optimistic view on her own life is starting to emerge within Alice, knowing that after all this suffering she has at least partially redeemed herself and avenged her family. Because Alice, I'm sure that right now your parents and especially Lizzie would be extremely proud. On the other hand, we saw through the game that with the advancing of madness, Alice was able to remain in our world less and less time before falling back into Wonderland. These could symbolize Alice's continuing psychosis, unable more and more to differentiate between the two worlds, and that's why in front of her eyes they seem fused together. I tend to see the ending in the more positive light because of this scene. After madness has been lifted from her mind, Alice wakes up in what seems to be the Asylum, as it's very similar to the intro of American McGee's Alice. Probably because what Alice felt reminded her of what she felt at the end of American McGee's Alice, while in the Asylum she defeated the madness and woke up once again free. Alice, it's time to say goodbye. Personally for us it has been an adventure that lasted more than 10 years, and it has been a hell of a ride. What made me sad playing this game so many years later is that while I have to grow older, Alice doesn't have to. Growing older sucks, Alice. Maybe I should actually wish to be a Wonderland character of yours and live in your mind. Now, past me would have simped, but present me is fine with a victory hug, Alice. Or if you want to epurate me as well. So before I analyze this ending further and give personal considerations, let's leave to our Cheshire Cat the honor to end this game.
Ah, Alice, we can't go home again. No surprise, really. Only a very few find the way, and most of them don't recognize it when they do. Delusions, too, die hard. Only the savage regard the endurance of pain as the measure of worth. Forgetting pain is convenient, remembering it agonizing. But recovering the truth is worth the suffering. And our Wonderland, though damaged, is safe in memory. For now.
And here ends Alice Mendes Returns. First of all, thank you for watching my playthrough. And if you want, I have a few more things to say. As I said, the ending is left to interpretation. Up until now, Wonderland never had any physical effect on our reality, except for Alice. For example, when in the intro of American McGee's Alice, the Hatter tried to warn Alice of the fire, or the plush rabbit asked Alice for help in Wonderland. It never manifested to anybody else other than Alice, up until the final moments of Dr. Bambi. It's probable that Alice didn't actually physically transform into her Wonderland self. Was it just a metaphor? Maybe Bambi never saw Alice as her Wonderland self, but maybe he saw the rage and the determination in Alice's eyes after she defeated the Dollmaker in Wonderland and got scared. Or, while Alice didn't actually transform herself into her Wonderland version like an anime girl transformation, Bambi actually saw Wonderland Alice, because maybe Alice was able to convey kinda telepathically the image and the badassery of her Wonderland version, and that's what scared him to death, literally, which is a similar concept to what will be used in Alice Otherlands, which are two short movies set after the events of Alice Mendes Returns, in which Alice travels the minds of other people. In this case, she could have entered the mind of Dr. Bambi to show him what Alice is made of. The Cheshire Cat says at the end, "Ah, Alice, we cannot go home again." But which home is he referring to? Alice's place in our world or Wonderland? Is he saying that Wonderland is definitely broken and Alice cannot return to it? Or that she's stuck in this perpetual Wonderland, implying that she can't go back to her ordinary life? Something that from an outside perspective would be called madness again, meaning that her psychosis got worse and that maybe it's the asylum again for her. The Cheshire Cat also says Wonderland is safe in our memory for now. What does that mean? Wonderland is safe in our memory, meaning that we managed to save it by recollecting the memories that Bambi brainwashed away from our mind, and maybe just needs time to restore and separate from Wonderland, or that it's safe but only in our memories. Because the cat didn't say Wonderland is safe in our mind, he says in our memory, as if it's part of the past. Meaning that it's something that is not forgotten, but gone for now. I think it's a very interesting ending because the story that the game tells ends here, but clearly our journey with Alice doesn't. Even though 12 years later there has not been a video game sequel, and this remains the last major installment of the Alice saga. Except, as I said, for Otherlands that I still haven't watched. American McGee was planning a sequel for Alice Mendes Returns called Alice Asylum. At first it was supposed to be a game about Alice's time in the asylum, so a prequel of American McGee's Alice. Later it was decided to make it a sequel of Alice Mendes Returns and probably the ending of the saga. But while I was recording and editing this playthrough, unfortunately the bad news came out that EA seems to have rejected American McGee's project for Alice Asylum. Alice has always had a very dedicated and passionate fanbase, but not a very big one. And obviously publisher care about numbers mostly. So American McGee has announced his retirement. As far as I understand, the project remains in the hands of the studio, so you never know, maybe one day somebody will change his mind. And while this is a disappointment, what matters the most to me is that I don't want anybody one day to publish a sequel of Alice Madness Returns, whether it's a video game or a TV series, that is unnatural, something that wasn't part of the vision of the creator of this franchise. Because Alice doesn't deserve that. Such a story doesn't deserve that. We're not having Alice Asylum, but rather than seeing an unnatural closure, I would choose the Alice Madness Returns ending any day. Even if it's not a proper ending, it's mysterious and open to interpretation. It lets player wonder and dream about what it means and what could happen in Alice's future. In a certain sense, we know that Alice is not done with her Wonderland trip, but we just don't get to see how it goes on. And we are just left with our imagination, which is somewhat a fitting ending for Alice in Wonderland. Now the personal notes, I'm glad I did a remake of my old playthrough, especially considering that it's probably the last chance that I have to make a full playthrough before adventuring elsewhere. It's a game that I love because, just like American McGee's Alice, I love the fantasy style of Wonderland. From cards to steampunk elements, to the various creatures of Wonderland, except insects of course. And even if it's far from perfect, with few game-breaking bugs, maybe focusing too much on arena battles, the whole child prostitution story was a bit unnecessary to me. I would have preferred it remained more of a personal story for Alice, and there were enough reasons to hate Bambi for what he did to Lizzie. And I wish we could have interacted more with the NPCs, but to me it's still worth to go past these defects. For the art direction, the art style and the soundtrack, they all make up for it. I love most of the characters, I love the protagonist. And wait, Alice, don't kick my ass yet. What I mean is that I love the concept of a dual Alice. An Alice that has been very unlucky in our world, that went through a lot. But also she's the badass fighting machine, the one-girl army Alice in Wonderland, who is kind and compassionate towards her friends, but still quite brutal towards who opposes her. Or who annoys her. Sometimes I push my personality onto her, but I don't think she has the authoritarian tendencies that I have in some of my video games. You just have to kneel in front of der Kaiser! And also her design, she's still a beautiful protagonist, especially in her Wonderland version with the makeup and the classic dress, or even without it.
Hey, stop!
Without it, I mean without the classic dress, but another Wonderland dress. Stop being perverts for once. But seriously, I love those dresses. I almost feel the need to try them on, but they wouldn't look as good on me. This game has also a very personal meaning to me, as I played it for the first time during a very difficult period of my life. Nothing compared to what Alice has passed, but it did help. I've often felt quite far away from everything around me. As I was seeing everybody else going on with their lives, I was still the rebel, headstrong, eclectic kid that didn't want to grow up and always wanted to do whatever he felt like to do. You could say I had a Wonderland of my own, even though I wasn't having visions nor falling down rabbit holes. Even though once in the fields in front of my house I saw a hare running out of her hole. But instead of being a fantasy retreat like it was for Alice, mine was a bit darker, as it was born from screw you, I think what I want, I do what I want, and if I don't like what's around me, I'll make my own. So in a certain sense it was more similar to American McGee's Alice Wonderland, especially after facing many years of depression. I started making videos many years ago as a way to express myself. And Alice in this game showed me that you can choose and build your own way without giving up on your Wonderland, your dreams, your beliefs, your ideals. And it really gave me a feeling of peace when I realized that. In both Alice games, the Cheshire Cat says,
Only a few find the way. Some don't recognize it when they do. Some don't ever want to.
And today I can say I somewhat found my way within myself, because I built it and made it my own. What's left now for me is to find that way on the outside as well. And for all these years that I've felt lost like Alice in a strange labyrinth, a labyrinth that I might never get out of, in which every exit seems to lead to nowhere, I can tell you it was worth it, and it's still worth it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And to conclude these personal ramblings, For all of you with a little Wonderland inside, don't let anybody tell you that what's within you is useless. If it makes you feel something, that it has the power to affect reality. And if what's within you has the power to affect our world, our reality, well, doesn't that make it at least a bit real? So it's time to wrap things up. And Alice, we had a lot of fun, and just like the Cheshire Cat said, as Wonderland is safe in your memory, just rest assured that your story is safe in ours. In mine for sure, and in yours as well if you will choose so. So I'm surrounded by freaks, here for a final goodbye with the Cheshire Cat, because I'm sure it's hiding somewhere. And Alice, I will see you down the road, maybe in Wonderland, maybe not, who knows. Auf Wiedersehen.